welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. Welcome to November. How did that happen? Somehow it's November 1st. We'll talk about the importance of that date in a little while, but wow, this year has flown by. Looking back in the last 6, 8, 10 months, it's been crazy, but we got a lot to talk about today. I want to talk about things that are coming up this week and next, with November, which is in store. Changes that to my website, changes to my Patreon, and improvements across the board. So let's get started. First, I'm going to share a little bit in a moment about last week's AMA and Patreon. It was pretty good attendance, but it could always be better. But we talked about some different things that are going on in the space, but also we talked about my business card and how you make one of these. So I will talk about how you make this card, and I'll share that video just as an example of what you get behind the scenes of Patreon. So Patreon, this is a great day to join Patreon. It's the first of the month, so you get full value for the full month. That's the one downfall about Patreon joining mid-month is they charge you for the month. And they charge you on the first always. So the first is always the best day. This is the best week to join Patreon, no question. And I will talk about all the different things that I'm going to be adding to Patreon this week, right after I share this excerpt of like the last AMA from last week, talking about, how we add value, how I add value, how I tell people that you can get $40, get adoption just with your business card. So let's take a look at that right now. That's how we're working things. I'm sure you're going to have questions, but before I do that, I wanted to share a little bit on how you make the business card. All right. Can everybody see that? All right. So here's the front, here's the back, and this is the new version. So the old version is it's just basic black on the front. What I've done and what I've learned, a couple of things that you should think about doing for your own card, put a Bitcoin symbol on there somewhere. Just like everybody's like, who's LitecoinLeader? What does he do? What is cryptocurrency? Bitcoin. Okay, got Bitcoin on there. So have that on there. I also added CBP on there, which is Certified Bitcoin Professional. It's a 2-year degree. It's like $100 to pick one of these up. It's also a good course and a good foundational knowledge base to have. I think it was Udemy who had a training course for like $50 or less. Take that and then take the test, which is like $100. And I plan for it because that was the longest pole in the tent for me to do this, because you had to pay for it in Bitcoin. And I think it was Canadian. So it took like overnight for it to get paid. And then I was able to take the test the following morning. But go and get your.
Hey, Jeff, how long did you say it took you to do that course? Because I just looked that up the other day.
It was about 3 hours for me, but I probably could have done it like right away, just with my own knowledge base. But I wanted to go through the process. The training course, I might have done it in 2. I don't know, but it was only a couple.
No, the training. How long was the training?
Yeah, a couple hours. 2 or 3 hours. The test was like 45 minutes, maybe, if that. I don't really. It's been almost a year since I took it. Lots been going on, but half a day's work, maybe $100 to $150 or so, no more than 200. And then you can put CBP after your name, and everybody's like, well, what does that mean? You can say, I'm a certified Bitcoin professional. Now you have accreditation from an outside agency you have some accredited agency says this guy's legit. So then you can put this out there and say, okay, good. Now we got that. So now everybody can say, okay, well, this guy isn't just like hanging up a shingle. We don't know anything, but so he can pass a Bitcoin test. It's not that hard. It really isn't. But if you've not gone through some of that stuff, it will teach you how many Bitcoins are there, like what's a Satoshi, how many coins are there, how often do the blocks close, that sort of thing. So a lot of it is more common knowledge for Bitcoin but it's really good certification to get. I recommend having that. And it's good for 2 years. So do that, put it after your name. It's a nice independent validation. But then we're going to talk about these 3 codes and my basic sales pitch, which a lot of people have already heard. But I will tell you that this is extremely powerful, and it's getting more and more powerful every time I do it. And Patrick's going to be out here for my meetup here in Myrtle Beach, which feel free to stop by if you're in the area. Which is November 6th, I believe it is, the Saturday. And he's gonna be here a couple days beforehand, and we're just gonna go out. He's gonna film me watching me giving out $40. So Joanna and I have been working on get40bucks.com, and I'm gonna be just like giving out money, just like it's so easy to, like, when you introduce people and people say, if you want to get people motivated and people to take action, give them money. And there's nothing except a business card. And this leads you to make more. You make money by giving out your business card. You get $5, I think, for this referral. You get $5 for this referral, something like that, $5 or $10. But it's not that. You may get a consultation call out of this. They may call you and say, "Can you help me with this?" And it will lead to more and more business. But the point is that they won't lose your card because they want to get their $40. So it's really powerful to show how to do this. So let me walk through the process, and feel free to interject at any time if you have questions. So let me pause there before I go on. Any questions at this point?
Yeah, where's that meetup at?
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I understand that.
I sent the email out to the email list today. The flyer was on it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's at a restaurant called Gordon Biersch. I think we start at like 1-ish. I need to go over there and confirm. It's a pretty low key. We don't have a section off area, but I don't expect it to be like more than 40 or 50 people. So we can just converse however we want.
Perfect.
So to make these codes is really simple. And Joanna actually helped me build the third one, but I will show you. I built these first two on my own. It wasn't that hard. The first, and here are the examples that I have. And I start with, have a logo, and you have a URL like your websites. And then I'm going to go over to flowcode.com. And I will share out this link. I might actually have an affiliate for this or not. Joanna says I do. I haven't done it yet, but what you could do is you go to the homepage of Flowcode, and you just want to, let's see. We'll go to create a code. But when you go to the flowcode.com, it's very simple, very basic. When you go there, it looks just like this. And you've got my cool flow code or whatever you want it to be named. Oh, okay, it's only joining. So you just type in your URL, like right there. You enter or paste the link. And then if you want to, you can pick colors, you pick designs, and you can choose a center image. So you can upload. So there's a little summary of what goes on in a typical call. It's at least an hour. But but there's time for everybody to raise questions, ask questions, whatever they want to talk about. But I am trying to build a community. I'm trying to further this adoption, and I'm trying to leverage my time as best I can. So Patreon, what we've done is now we've moved over to Patreon. Everything on LitecoinLeader is 100% free. So if you go LitecoinLeader.com, you'll find all the content there for free. I still get questions asked about altcoinopoly and the coins and the portfolio, and what the portfolio, hypothetically speaking, not financial advice, but hypothetically speaking, those 35 coins that you talked about, how would you build a portfolio from that? I obviously can't share that on YouTube. I'm not allowed. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a tax advisor, all those general rules. But what I can share is more behind a paywall. So that's why we've erected a paywall, and we've gone from, it's 3 levels. There's level 1 is LitecoinLeader.com and LitecoinLeader.io. LitecoinLeader.io, you're watching it right now. It's my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe, share, so we can build it to 1,000 or more people. That's the first tier of really adoption, and then it grows from there. So thank you for that. So secondly, LitecoinLeader.com, that's how you get on my email list. So just drop an info over there, or ask for more info, drop an email there, or drop your whatever address you want me to use to add you to, and just say, please put me on your email list. It'll be done, and I'll be sending that out probably later this week. Give me I think probably Wednesday or Thursday. And then this week is going to get a little crazy, but we'll talk about that in a minute too. So level 1, LitecoinLeader, LitecoinLeader.com, LitecoinLeader.io. Level 2 is Patreon. So Patreon, the baseline is $20 a month. You can tip for $5, but to get full access to everything, $20 a month. And then you get bonuses for extra meetings. I don't really like using the different levels, but I thought I'd try it out to see how it goes. Most people seem to be gravitating towards that $20 level, which is great. The $40 and $50 level, that's for a discounted consultation. You can use that if you want to, but you join the Patreon, then I can start to interact with everybody. I've been posting. I think I made like 20 posts last month in my first month on Patreon, and I'm only going to start adding more. But there's more content that I put there. And now we're going to have even more content and more of a discussion in a community, because working with Joanna, she's done a fabulous job. She's adding a Discord, and that's only accessible through Patreon. So that's where we're going to go. So we were going away from Telegram. We're going to Discord because you can structure it. You want to ask about LLCs? There's a channel for that. You want to ask about a portfolio question? You can ask. There's a channel for that. Particular coin like Veritasium or Shiba, both of which we'll talk about this week. You can ask about that. LLCs, woo-woo stuff, 5D stuff, silver and gold. All these different things that go beyond this channel. With this channel is predominantly, I'd say almost exclusively, cryptocurrency discussions and economics. If you want to go beyond those areas, and I'm capable of doing that, for those who don't know, I used to do real estate. I have 2 degrees from college for whatever they're worth, but I studied physics a lot. I was an engineer for a long time. I worked in radio and communications, so I know a lot about the new generation of radio frequencies used in cell phones. I'll say it that way. It's the best way I can say it for now. We can talk about that. So again, on this platform, I need to be judicious and careful with my words. But on other platforms, less scrutiny. So level 1, LitecoinLeader. Level 2, LitecoinLeader on Patreon. So patreon.com/LitecoinLeader. And all that's going to be in the description box on my channel below. I don't want to make this entirely a commercial. I'm trying to just provide information. But level 3 is the community. And that's what we're really going towards. This is a community where we can interact. We've got the AMAs on Patreon. That'll be every Wednesday, as often as I can provide. This week might be a little tricky, or next week too. Certainly next week is going to be off, but we'll talk about that. And then with the Discord, we can interact, and members can interact with one another, have conversations on whatever they think they find, share videos, whatever. We may even do a sidebar video conference there. Who knows? But we're building a community. I'm trying to leverage my time as best as I can, give back to the community, provide an area for everybody to talk to one another. So that's how we're doing it. LitecoinLeader.com and YouTube, Patreon, Discord. So the Discord will be presented later this week. The link will only be on Patreon. Please do not share it. We only want people there that are members. And it's for you guys. I mean, this is me giving back to you. And here's your community. Here's how you reach myself. Here's how you reach Joanna. Here's how you reach other people that are also in this platform. So, and soon I'm going to adopt only 1 or 2 ways of getting out to me, because it's hard for me to check Instagram, and it's hard to check Telegram and all these different things that I check. But I've been doing it this year just to try to figure out which one is the best one. And we're going to head to Patreon and Discord as our main ways of communicating. So enough about that. Let's go over where we are for this week, where things are going on. As mentioned in the video, I have my Myrtle Beach meetup this Saturday at Gordon Biersch Restaurant. It's at 1 p.m. on Saturday, which I think is the 6th. It's going to be very low key. If you're in the area, please stop by. We'll have a nice little conversation. First drinks on me for sure. And depending on attendance, maybe more. We'll see. I put down a significant deposit with the restaurant, but hey, that's how it goes. It's just part of doing business, right? So we're gonna have a good time on Saturday. We're gonna meet up. We have a dinner Friday night with our winner from Altcoinopoly, who's Derwin Logan, who won, and he just happened to do an interview with Travis of Economic Ninja fame. He did a great video of that last week. Happened to mention me as well, which is great because I couldn't make the video, of course. Just sometimes how it works. But I'll be talking to Travis, hopefully in Miami, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And then maybe I'll do an interview with him soon too. I'm going to start doing more and more interviews. And you just saw that I did I won't say an interview, but we did a dialogue, and we recorded a dialogue between Mikhail and myself this past Sunday. And we just talked for an hour, and we could have gone more, I'm sure. But we talked about everything in the world of crypto, from Shiba to different apps and how they rebranded and all these different things. So I would recommend, I'll post that link up here. I would recommend that you go check that out. And then let's see, what else have I not mentioned? So I mentioned Veritasium and Shiba. I'm going to be doing more coverage on both those things. If you don't know what's going on with Veritasium, or you don't know what's going on with Veritasium, I suggest you follow Reggie Middleton, who is the guy who created it. And he put out a great dialogue last few days. There's significant movement with Veritasium that's coming, in my opinion alone and only. I won't discuss what I think it is on this forum just yet, but as I dig further into the news that came to light to me on Saturday, it's significant for this space. So we will wait and see how that plays out, but I would, not financial advice, I'm not going to go any further. All right, so we're just going to leave it there. Veritasium is very much not a dead project. I'll say that. Okay, so I talked about Patreon, I talked about the levels, mentioned the business card in the video, mentioned AMA. AMA again will be this Wednesday. I'll be able to do that. I do have to go and get Divvy Daddy's flying out for the meetup in Myrtle Beach. And then him and I are meeting with the Viva team next week, which is why I won't be able to do an AMA next week, unfortunately, just prior commitments. And then the following weekend, I'll be in Miami at the Mark Moss event. I think he's calling it the Great Reset event. I'm not sure what the actual full name is, but there's gonna be significant people that are there. Hopefully I bump into Travis from Economic Ninja. If you're watching, hi Travis. And if hopefully we bump into each other, but if not, I'll try to grab him for an interview. And I'm going to try and do a few more interviews from people I met out in Salt Lake and some other people as I get further and further into the space. But again, I just wanted to wrap up. It's still making videos. It's still just November, still 2 months left. Got one major trip that I've scheduled for the rest of the year, which is this trip to Florida for 2 things. And the Myrtle Beach event. So it's a busy couple of weeks, and then a settling down for the holiday season through Thanksgiving and Christmas, where we tend to see crypto take off, historically speaking. So buckle your belts and strap in for that one. So we'll wait and see how crypto behaves this holiday season. But if the way things that the climate seems to be indicating, we could be heading in for a number of larger green candles for Bitcoin and other projects. Not financial advice, but that's historically speaking. If you look back at December, I think it was 2016 or 17, and December of 2013, it's just the timing. This is the time of year, about 18 to 24 months beyond the halvening, things tend to go up when the supply shock really hits. So stay tuned for a lot of things that are coming, both in this channel and elsewhere. But again, if you want more detail and you want to be part of this community and want to give, get more information, give back, you can always book a call with me. My Calendly link is also below. It's also on LitecoinLeader.com. But for the most part, I just wanted to make sure, and I'll be emphasizing it this week, especially today with being the first, you get your most value by joining Patreon on the first. So you've got LitecoinLeader.com and LitecoinLeader.io, this YouTube channel, for free. Then you've got Patreon. Baseline is $20. There's a $5 tip level, but we're migrating to $20. That's going to be the number. I know annual subscriptions will be coming up soon. I might do something special for that, but let's get the Patreon and let's get the community on the Discord as well. So that's how to reach me best for now. Please help us to build it out, build a community, start the dialogues there, and whatever else you want to see on the AMAs, or if you want to see more videos, leave comments below. Leave comments in Discord, leave comments on Patreon, and I'll be getting to them as best I can. So with all that said, and it was a lot for this Monday, lots going on this past weekend. I was catching up a lot. I'm glad I did the hour with Michael. Again, I'll post that video later on. I'm going to put the link up here. So grab that link, watch that video. It was a great hour dialogue with him. We were planning on doing that a lot more when schedules work out. Next couple of weeks are not going to work out, but I would say after the middle of November, we could probably do something right before Thanksgiving. We'll see. So stay tuned, lots to come. Always trying to provide more and more good content. Thanks for joining me on this ride, and I hope to see you on Patreon and over on Discord. So with all that said for today, I'm going to close the drawer of the bureau, and I'll see you next time. Take care.